Welcome, class. This video is Understanding the SRBCSS Assignment. This video will help you understand this important assignment. First of all, SRBCSS, as you're learning in your module, stands for Scales for Rating the Behavioral Characteristics of Superior Students. And it's a screening instrument commonly used in gifted education to screen for characteristics that are generally associated with gifted and talented students. This is the first part of your fieldwork, by the way. In this assignment, you will use a screening instrument developed by a team of researchers at the University of Connecticut to assess a student's abilities. You do not have to meet with the student to do this, so that's important to know. You don't have to sit down with the student. You're just thinking about the student's characteristics and completing the instrument. Select a student, which may be a family member, a friend's child, or an actual student. If you use someone other than your own child, you obviously need to ask the parents' permission and inform them this is for just for your graduate work, and it's not to be used in the school in any way. The student should be between the ages of 5 to 15 years old, which is what's appropriate for this instrument. And it should be someone who you know well, particularly in terms of his or her academic abilities. Someone perhaps that you might consider quote unquote gifted. To complete the assignment, first you're going to read sections, part 2, pages 25 to 30 of the SRBCSS manual that's found on the assignments tab of the course site. If you want to skim through some of the rest of the manual, you're welcome to do that. It's pretty complex and it has a depth of research behind it. But at least read in detail pages 25 to 30. I'll show you that in a minute. So you'll know how to use the instrument and how to score it. Then you're going to open the SRBCSS itself and complete it for your student. You're going to follow the directions to score the SRBCSS and be sure to complete page 1 of the scoring. That's also on the course Moodle. And once you have page 1 all completed, you're going to scan in page 1 as part of your assignment. Then you're going to write a 3-page reflection on the experience, and I'll get to some guiding questions in a moment, describing the experience and your learning. You're going to take your scan or your picture of page 1 and your 3-page reflection, and you're going to submit it to the link in the Assignments tab. It's helpful if you submit the scan as part of the document, for example, Appendix A. However, if you can't figure that out, you can submit it as a separate file. You do not have to submit all of the SRBCSS, only page 1 that contains the summary of scores. So this is the first page of the administration manual. This is what you're looking for. Each of the pages is numbered. And so you start on page 25, and this will tell you how to fill out the SRBCSS. And again, that's on the course site. This is page 1 of the SRBCSS itself, and you can see you're asked for some information, including the student's name, the date you're rating him or her, the date of birth, so be sure to get that, age in years. And here you can see summary of scores on the right. So the SRBCSS is based on a number of subscales that relate to giftedness. So you're going to be assessing, for example, the student's learning characteristics, creativity characteristics, motivation characteristics, leadership characteristics, artistic characteristics, and more. And the reason that the SRBCSS is such a versatile instrument is you can do this for only 1 or 2 of the subscales. You don't have to rate them all. For this assignment, I'd like you to rate them all so you'll get a feeling for it. It's also, you might notice that there are characteristics that are different from just the academic characteristics. So many screening scales ask you to just rate a student in math or reading, for example. But this really gets into a broader range of characteristics. And so this type of screening instrument is more likely to uncover traits in students that might otherwise be missed. Incidentally, the use of this type of screening instrument is more likely to result in increased representation of underrepresented students in gifted programs. Here are the guiding reflection questions for the second part of the assignment after you've given the instrument. Describe the student or child you scored. Why did you select him or her for assessment? You'll see that each of these questions has a point value, and so write it as if it was a narrative. You can use headings, and you can write, I selected the student known as such and such, who was 7 years old, because I'm very familiar with him from my class, whatever the answer is. Number 2, what were your general findings? What were the stronger and weaker areas? Did they match up with what you thought they would be? So, for example, if you thought the student was very creative, did the creativity score come out that high? What do you think about the SRBCSS? Could you see using it in your district as a screening tool? If you're not teaching yet in a district, then think about, could you see yourself working with it one day? What stage would you use it? So would you recommend using it at stage 1 for teacher nomination or parent nomination, or stage 2 where you're actually gathering more assessment data on the student, and why? Number 4, what are the advantages of an instrument such as the SRBCSS over a more traditional instrument that focuses only on academic abilities? Number 5, what did you learn from this assignment? What surprised you? What would you do differently? These are reflection questions, so you shouldn't just write a conclusion. Think about what you've learned. Number 6, remember to scan in page 1 of the scoring of the SRBCSS itself as Appendix A or as a separate file. I hope this explanation clarifies this assignment for you.